What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the last two videos with our new shotgun that we got in Scavenger's Fate, as well as a banging build that you can take anywhere through any type of content with the Solar Hunter Trip Mine build that is now back and better than ever. But we are going to be covering a god roll of the Noxious Vetiver, which is a beautiful new Arc SMG that we got with Act 2 of Revenant right here, with Dark Aether Reaper as our origin trait. Final blows periodically spawn Dark Aether charges. Charges detonate early with this as we can fire at them or walk into them. This is a super good perk in my opinion for something like this SMG, because we are able to overflow the weapon, and it is super good with the perks that this SMG has on it. Okay, so talking about this weapon PvE side first, it's very good in both of the realms of Destiny, but we're going to be using small bore on this bad boy, 7 in range, 7 in stability, as well as for me, I went with a stability masterwork on it for the PvE realm. Magazine, two different options for you. The first one is a pendant mag. We get +2 in the magazine. Not what my first option would be, but is a very close second. The first choice that I would take is definitely tactical mag right here, +1 in the magazine, +10 to reload, +5 for stability. Like I said, I wanted that stability out there a little bit more, just because with this I want to hit as many shots as I can because of the column in 3 and 4, the perks that we have. So on to the third column. First option we have is loose change. Applying an elemental debuff to a target increases this weapon's reload, aim assist, as well as movement while aiming down these sights for a short period of time. Definitely good in the Crucible, but also in the PvE realm because of a certain perk that we have in the fourth column. Probably the best perk in this third column for this weapon for PvE is Attrition Orbs. Dealing sustained damage creates an orb of power, especially with Dark Aether Reaper. We can effectively overflow this consistently, having orbs of power basically always get procced. This would probably be my last option for us, with Pugilist. Final blows grant us melee energy. Dealing melee damage improves this weapon's handling. Definitely a PvP perk as well that you can use, but spamming melees inside of the PvE realm is pretty nice in my personal opinion, especially with something like a Stasis Shuriken going around freezing targets with our new Mask of Fealty. Kind of disgusting. Now in the fourth column, definitely the number one choice that'll help us with loose change as well as attrition orbs is that jolting feedback. Dealing repeated damage with this weapon inflicts jolt, while amplified jolt is applied faster, so pairs very well with our arc subclass. And getting amplified just in general, that jolt is disgusting. We can stun champions with it, we can clear out ads. Way super nice, especially with that Dark Aether Reaper origin trait. Frenzy is definitely my second choice right here. Being in combat gives us damage, handling, and a reload increases. That 15% damage across the board is pretty nice, plus 100 in reload. Handling and handling is also pretty good for this inside of just the blanket. Like I said, champions, bosses, rank and file enemies, Frenzy works on all of them. My last option for y'all, which I think might be a sleeper perk, gonna have to do a little bit more testing with this bad boy, see what the numbers actually are, but dealing damage against rank and file combatants increases the damage against more powerful ones. So if we're using this to deal damage against those bosses, champions, whatever it may be, after we clear out ads with that Dark Aether Reaper trait, we're going to be able to do a good little bit of damage because the overflow is pretty hefty when we get it to proc. So I really think that that's a sleeper perk for y'all. PvE realm, this thing is slapping in my personal opinion. Feels super good. It's obviously not like Volt Shot, but against bigger targets, it's absolutely disgusting having that jolting feedback, plus with Dark Aether Reaper together to get that overflow to go on. Definitely would rate this thing at like a 4.8 out of 5 for the PvE realm. Definitely gotta farm this as fast as y'all can because it's good in PvP as well. All right, moving on to PvP. This thing also slaps. We're going with small bore in that first column, +7 to range, +7 to that stability. We're gonna have 71 in range, 61 in stability. This thing does fry pretty hard. Accurized rounds, of course, for that range in the Crucible, giving us plus 10 to that. Like I said, stacking it out as high as we can at that 71, plus the perks in the third, fourth column, gonna help us out as well. 2 Pain is our first option in the third column. While this weapon is equipped, taking damage increases handling, aim assist until it is stowed. Having that extra handling is definitely very, very nice because you can swap off of this thing very quick for whatever else you might be using. Pugilist, another good option. Final blows give you that melee energy, but most importantly, with that melee energy doing damage on those guardians, you're gonna get weapon handling, which is pretty nice for the Crucible. Like I said, in my opinion, hot swapping off of this and whatever else you are using. Last option, and maybe the best option, is the final blows with this weapon have increased accuracy, stability, and improve that vertical recoil with heating up right here. Definitely feels really, really good in my opinion. With 2 Pain, they are probably interchangeable as the #1 options. In the fourth column, I think I said it, with a stability masterwork, we're gonna go with Target Lock as our first fourth column trait. Gives us that damage increase the longer the weapon is on the target. Good for stuff like these SMGs and auto rifles for sure. Frenzy, again, very good. Just a blanket 15% damage increase after being in combat, plus we get 100 handling, 100 reload, so very good perk for both PvE, PvP. This thing will make this basically be able to do damage on any guardian anywhere with that 15% damage increase is pretty nice. Last but not least, we kind of got 2 that interchange. The first one is Rampage. Kills with this weapon temporarily grant us stacking bonus, stacks up to 33%. The other option is the Desperate Measures. Final blows with the weapon or melee and grenade can also give us stacks, stacking up to 30% damage increase. So also doing 3 stacks on each of those between Desperate Measures and Rampage, you just get 33% damage increase instead of 30. So totally up to you with those last options, but I think overall your best one is probably gonna be that Target Lock or Frenzy as your first 2 options, followed by either that Desperate Measures or Rampage. But throwing this thing at like a 4-4, 4-5 in the Crucible as well definitely slaps really hard, especially when you get everything to proc and go on. It is melting guardians inside of the Crucible at quite a good like little medium range, if you will. So definitely get to grinding out that Tomb of Elders. Get yourself a beautiful Noxious Vetiver. Don't know how to say that word. Y'all can roast me in the comments, but this thing slaps and y'all need to go farm it ASAP. So again, appreciate all you guys for coming back to the channel. Means a lot to me, means a lot to the channel, of course. Appreciate if you like, subscribe, hit that bell. Helps me out, helps the YouTube channel out, helps the algo out. You know what I'm saying. So that is a lovely, lovely thing you guys can do, and I would really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you guys for always coming back and supporting me no matter what the content we are throwing out. So again, I will catch you guys in the next one. We will talk soon, y'all. Peace.